Hello, folks. Welcome back to World War II TV. I don't know how many people are going to see this live, but hopefully you will see it later on. So just a quick reminder of how you can support World War II TV. If you are a regular viewer of the channel, you'll realize I don't spend ages every single video reminding people about the ways you can support. I don't bang on about the merchandise. Neither do I put in sponsorship videos, which is something that's increasingly happening to creators like myself. We receive messages from people wanting us to insert messages about the VPN software they're selling or the whatever survival gear they're selling. I get all sorts of requests. It would bring in some cash for me, but it would, I think, derail what we're trying to do. It would make us look a little bit clunky and commercial. So I am sometimes guilty of not telling people enough about how World War II TV functions and how you can help. So we're progressing nicely. The viewing numbers are steady. The subscriber numbers, we're over 92,000 now. We will hit 100,000 at some time, I'm hoping. I don't think it'll be this year now. I think it'll more likely to be the beginning of next year, but that will be a nice milestone. I'm really happy with the quality of guests we have. I'm really happy with the type of content we're creating. But I just want to remind people again, just as I'm doing right now, that it's an incredible amount of work. So for those of you who know, I was a full-time battlefield guide here in Normandy up until about 2018 and then 19. Then I started going in the direction of conferences and writing, other things like this. COVID-19 happened. I then started doing the live streams to World War II TV. And for the first year or two, I was combining it with also doing quite a lot of guiding still as well. These days, I frankly just don't have time to do the guiding anymore because this takes an insane amount of work. Now, I'm not, hi, Brian, I'm grumbling about it. I love the work I do. I love the content I can bring you, but it is incredibly time consuming. So this is just a little reminder that if you have been watching World War II TV regularly, but you have not yet become a subscriber, well, that's the first thing you can do to help. If you watch even only half of the shows, perhaps you're just interested in the Eastern Front and you don't watch the shows about the Pacific, or you don't watch the Normandy shows, that's fine, but still subscribe so that it helps with the way the algorithm works. Because one of the things that we hope we are very pleased with here is the community, is the live streams gives you, the viewer, and I understand not everybody can watch the streams live. It's why occasionally we do ones at different times of day so people in different parts of the world can watch. But the live streams are the thing that give you the interaction with me as the host, and they give you the interaction with the guests. You can put the questions. Okay, we can't put every single question that comes in, but we can put a lot of them to the guests there, and we can have this engaging two-way conversation, three-way conversation, if you like, so you can have that communication in real time with your guests. Now, that's fantastic. The problem is live streams are not as well supported by the algorithm on YouTube as the standard upload. So someone like, there will be some more North Africa content coming, Colin. There's a couple of shows coming on the Tunisia campaign. We'll make sure we try and include your granddad in that. That's with Trevor Sheehan. That'll be sometime later in the summer. So the uploaded videos, so the kind of content someone like Rob at History Explorer or JD at History Underground does, they are better supported by the algorithm. They are promoted better. I have some people who go to my channel and they see the videos page or tab on YouTube, and the videos tab only has a few dozen videos because the great majority of my content, as I've just said, is live. So they have to click the live stream tab to get the live content. So some people aren't even aware that I'm continually putting new content out there. So the downside of the benefits of the live streams are fantastic for that cooperation. They're fantastic for that interaction. It's what I like doing. It's what you guys watch, but it does mean that YouTube doesn't promote me in the way that it does the other type of channels. So as I said, viewing numbers were really good around February this year. They've dropped off a bit since then. It's not just me suffering a drop off in views. It will always happen in the summer when people have things to go to and pubs to go to and holidays, things like that. But I'm going to say it once again. If you have been watching a lot of the content and you are not yet a channel member, so the channel member is the YouTube system. You can see the link below. haven't actually put it in yet, but I'll put it in after I've done this. And that's the system where you can become a member of the channel beyond being a subscriber. It's pretty good. It brings me in some income, but a big chunk of it goes to YouTube. Okay, which is fine. Patreon is the better system for me. Patreon means that the great majority of the money you support goes to me. And you can pledge as little as $5 a month or €5, depending on where you're living or whatever currency it is where you live. Or you can go up and become a brigadier, like four of my viewers, Tom and Susan and others who support by $100 a month. But I'm not expecting that to be what most of you do. But I know it's a tough times. I know there's an economic issues around the world. I know we're worried about World War III and all those kind of things there. But if you are regularly watching, and, you know, if you can afford it, $5 a month, €5 a month may not seem like much to you, but when it adds together, it makes a big difference, because I've slumped in terms of what I was getting. My peak on Patreon was sometime last year. It's dropped a bit again recently. And as I say, this is really my sole income. I just don't have the time to do guiding anymore. And I'm not quite earning as much as what I was when I was guiding. It's some months are better than others. But anyway, I'm going to say that now. And I watch a lot of YouTube myself. Interestingly, I don't tend to watch much World War II stuff on YouTube, because that's what I do for a living. I watch other things that interest me. And even channels I really like, I don't like it when they do that thing where they say, and without further ado, let's get on to talking about whatever it is they're going to talk about. And then they do a 2-minute thing where they're trying to sell you the thing that they're being sponsored to push, blah, blah, blah. I could do that, but I don't want to do that because I just think it derails the seriousness of what we're trying to do. I just don't like it. You may get YouTube ads sometimes when you're watching my stuff. I always go for the setting where I reduce the number. Sometimes you can end up getting an advert every 5 minutes. I normally set it up so that you don't get an advert. You get adverts sort of every 25 to 30 minutes on a show, which means in an average hour-and-a-half show, you might get 3, you might get 4, but you might get none at all. You might get no adverts at all. But that's the YouTube system. And I always have it set up so you can skip them. Some channels will have it set up so that you have to watch the 30-second commercial. I always have it set up so that you can skip it after 2 or 3 seconds or 4 or 5 seconds, which means less income for me, but it's less inconvenient for you, because I think, you know, you deserve the best. And I try and make this channel appear seamless. I want it to appear like the BBC was back in the classic days, when there were no adverts, there were no promotions for things like that. It was just the content. So as I said, I am a bit guilty sometimes of not reminding people how they can support. I think some people just maybe don't think I do need that kind of financial assistance. And it's not that I'm not destitute. I'm not going to be out on the streets soon, but it would be really nice if a few more people would sign up and just make it a little bit more comfortable so I can put the work out there. So that's going to be all I'm saying about that, and about the plea there to you. I will remind you, we've got some great content coming up in the next few weeks. There'll be at least 2 weeks not together about Norway and some about Denmark in World War II, primarily with historians from Scandinavia, but a few others who specialize in it. We've got shows on Operation Freshman and the Royal Engineers who died there. We've got operations on the MTB, Norwegian MTB operations, things like that. We've got more Channel Islands content coming. There's at least 2, maybe 3 weeks of Eastern Front content coming up in the next few weeks, based on a book and a series of essays edited by Jeff Rutherford. Prit Buttar will be back later on in the month, or actually July, and I postponed it a couple of days, as part 2 of his Bagration show. There'll be a general series coming up in September. We're going to look at Lucian Truscott. We're going to look at MacArthur again. I want to do a show about General Alexander. There'll be North Africa and Tunisia content. There'll be Normandy content. There'll be more Sino-Japanese content. There'll be more civilian content, etc., etc., etc. So there's lots of stuff coming up. There we are. We will do more stuff. I just saw your comment there, Kevin, about can you do some presentations about the disgusting right-wing revisionism that permeates some other channels? I could do, and I think we do need to fight against misinformation and things like that, but it's probably not a direction I want to sort of going on this channel. I don't want to kind of become a sort of social commentator as such. I still want to keep it just rooted in here is a historian, here's what the historian has to say about this subject, here is the subject presented. So I think I don't think I'll be going that direction, but there you are. So we've got a YouTube subscription coming in. Some people have signed up there, so that's fantastic. So I will leave it at that. Later on today, Tony's rejoining us to talk about the battles of Guam. That's the one in 1941 when the Japanese invaded, and another one in the big one in 44 with the retaking of the Guam area. And as you know, Tony has lived out in that part of the world, so he brings that kind of local insight. Fantastic personal story coming up tomorrow. Jamie Lundy's coming on talking about his grandfather who ended up in the Polish Navy in the Allies in World War II, but had an incredible circuitous route via Siberia and deportations and persecution to end up getting there. That's going to be pretty good. Lots more stuff, I say, coming up next week, but I'll leave it at that. So I'm just going to say one more time, if you are not already a YouTube subscriber, that's the first thing you can do. If you can go beyond that, a channel member, so you put a bit of funds in, is the next step, and the final and best step for me is to become a fully blown Patreon, and the links to the Patreon are always in all the videos. It's always on the main page of the YouTube World War II TV page. So I will leave you to do that. So folks, I will love you and leave you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you later on for the show about Guam. But in the meantime, just think what you can do to assist me and make sure that the content keeps coming. I will be hitting 1,800 live streams sometime in the next few weeks, which is just absolutely insane. There was a point when I thought getting to 100 would be crazy. But anyway, there we are. So Adam has just signed up for the corporal package. Fantastic, Adam. Thanks for that. I will see you all later on. Cheers, everybody. Bye.